Dear friends, welcome to my next research video. You are with me, Dr. Rajashekar. If you are a first timer to this channel, please do not subscribe, do not fail to subscribe. Am I right? Okay, whenever you watch my video, you may find certain pattern, certain structure. How do I start my video? How do I end my video? How do I explain? You may wonder why I'm talking about all these things. Today, we are going to talk about how to apply structuralist viewpoint in research. Structuralist theory, how to apply the structuralism in literary works. Let's see today. And we will see the major components of structuralism and we will analyze that. See, first thing, what you need to know about structuralism, it's a framework tries to analyze and interpret human culture in terms of underlying structures such as language, myth, customs that serve to organize and give meaning to human experience. Any experience, anything you take, the language, myth, and custom are the core component to create a meaning. That is what the main argument of the structuralist. So they say that first of all, they mainly argue some five important components. First, number one component, they say that structures are more important than individual elements. See, a structure is made up of different individual components. So they don't mind about the individual element. After forming all the elements, finally a structure is created. So the structuralist, they are very much focused on the final structure, number one. They believe that this underlying structures of a culture or a society are more important than individual elements that make up. They argue that it is the relationship between elements that determine their meaning rather than the element themselves. The elements themselves. So they are very much focused on the meaning than rather than the element themselves. Second, they always concentrate on binary oppositions because structuralists often use these binary oppositions such as good and evil, male and female, nature and culture, to understand how meaning is created, because the binaries create the meaning the fullest way. That's what they argument. How? Because if you look at only good, you may not understand that may not be the right one. Only when you look at both good and evil, you can come to the final thing. So that's why they always use binary opposites. They believe that these opposites are fundamental. Please underline the word. These binaries are fundamental to human thought and are present in all cultural systems. You take any culture, there will be a good and bad. There will be the one way it will be a benefit, other way it will be a opposite, the other way of opposite. So the structuralist is always very much focused on this thing. Third thing, they focus on long and parole. This is very important a concept in structuralism, long and parole. That means the structuralist, what do they try to convey? They distinguish between long, that is the underlying structure of a language. Long means underlying structure. And parole, the actual use of language. There will be a structure, but that will be used in different way. That's why long and parole. Because this long and parole, the connection between long and parole, they always focus in structuralistic view of analysis. What do they argue? They argue that the meaning of individual words is determined by their relationship to other words in the language system. So they say that the same word, if it has a relationship with another word in different context and different denotation and connotation, the meaning will change. When you say happy in a one particular place, say for example a marriage ceremony, you say happy. But where is the another one place where you win a great match, you say happy. But here, even though the same word is happy, but the intensity of the meaning different based on the this particular word connection to the another word. That's what long and paro. Then the another important concept is signifier and signified. Structuralists believe that meaning is created through relationship between signifier and signified. That is, signifier is the physical form of a sign, that is a word or an image. And it signified. Signified means the concept or meaning it represents. See, the signifier signified will differ place to place, because when you do thumbs up in one country, it will have one meaning. In India, it means that it's success, but it may mean something else in African continent. So, because there is a structure that the signifier, but signified may vary based on the place, because the concept of the meaning it represents will vary based on the place. So, signifier, signified is the next important component is used in the analysis in the structuralist way. Another last important component is myth. Myth, because they argue that myths and other cultural narratives are structured in the same way as language and other cultural system. When you analyze the myth, because they believe that when you analyze the myth, it can reveal certain pattern about the structure of a culture. So that's why even studying the myth is the one way of analyzing the culture, because how the structured, what kind of pattern is used, and all those the analysis it gives the finer understanding. This is how the what you call the structuralists believe. So when applying structuralism to the analysis of a literary work, a critique would look for the underlying structures of the text, one, such as recurring patterns or binary oppositions, in order to understand how meaning is created. They might also analyze the relationship between the text and other cultural systems, such as language or mythology, in order to gain a deeper understanding of the work. So, if you do in this pattern, when you analyze using the structuralistic way, and if you use all these things, it will be easy for you. I hope it's useful to you. If you find it useful, and just click thumbs up and share to our friends. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.